The United States, on a goal by Pat LaFontaine, leads Canada 1-0 after one period of play in Hamilton. Quick injury update. Rod Langway took 3 or 4 stitches to the back of his neck. Given it's that small a gash, they don't really count. He will be back for the second period. And while we're talking about premier defensemen, we are joined now by Paul Coffey of the Edmonton Oilers, also playing for Team Canada. Are they surprising you with how well they are playing tonight?
I don't think so. I think we were well prepared as individuals, knowing that we had to be up for the game. I think we might have been a little bit jittery that period and not knowing that they were going to be lined up on a blue line. But, you know, there's lots of hockey left. One goal really doesn't matter.
We all predicted this might turn out to be an NHL-type contest. I think that's what we're seeing. That's pretty safe to say. But after a solid month of training camp, trying to master international hockey, playing 2 international hockey-style games, might this be a setback for both clubs in the long term?
I think more so for our hockey team. I think the U.S., with the players and the personnel they got, they've pretty well got to play that style throughout the tournament. We saw them the other night play that way against the Swedes, and I think they've played that way all the way through. Our hockey club can be a fast-moving European-type team, but face it, in a game like tonight where we're not getting a chance to do that, we've got to adapt.
Well, they're clogging the lanes. They're putting 3 across their own blue line. What do you do now to counteract that?
We've basically got to get the puck in deep, whether it's dump or load aside, and hit the wide guy and outman them. I mean, the pucks are getting in the corners, and our end in there, and we're just simply getting outmanned.
Seems to me that I detect a little bit of people are a little disappointed on this team how slowly it's coming together. You look around you, you see all this talent. You look at your power play tonight, you can put out some of the best skaters in the world. You're 0 for 2. Is there any frustration, or is there patience on this hockey team?
Well, there definitely has to be patience. There's no doubt about that. I think I was lucky enough to be on the '84 hockey team, and they said the same thing. We're not a team yet. They said that throughout the whole tournament until we beat the Russians, and all of a sudden we were a team. How people come to something like that, I don't know. I mean, but people saying we're not a team, I mean, you know, I think we're working hard, obviously working hard out there, and we're playing as best we can. It's just that we haven't had time with the line combinations, but hopefully we can get it together in time because, I mean, as a player, you can't use time as a factor because we knew coming in how much we had.
Well, the old bromide in the NHL is that the most difficult position to play is defense. You need so much experience and coordination and familiarity. Is it particularly difficult, you think, for you folks back at the blue line?
Yes and no. I mean, it'd be very easily to say it is, to use that as a cop-out, but you know, we've had the 6 or 7 guys here for the last week or so, and we basically knew who the 6 or 7 were going to be, and now it's just hopefully be able to stay together and work hard together and get to know each other. But there is a few spots that are evident out there that we are a little hesitant. Whether it's a quick pass or something like that, we have to get used to each other.
What are the positives?
We haven't lost yet. We've won one and we tied one, and I think anybody will tell you we've got 23 of the best hockey players at this time playing for our team right now, and we're all professionals, and if we can't adapt, then nobody can.
It's been said in past international tournaments and past Canada Cups that sometimes the Canadian team was maybe guilty of looking past everyone else to the Soviet game, because that's always the one everyone thinks of and looks ahead to. I don't suppose that's been the case this time around.
No way. I mean, I've talked to some friends back home in early July assessing the teams in the tournament. It's like the National Hockey League. Any team can beat any team on any given night. We knew coming in that the U.S. was going to be tough to play us just because of the closeness in the 2 countries. Soviets and the Czechs are the same way, and the Swedes always play tough. So, I mean, every team, if there is a weak team, there's the Finns, but, I mean, they can beat you, too.
Paul, thanks very much.
Okay.
Paul Coffey, our guest here in the first intermission. We will talk next with the head coach of Team USA, Bob Johnson. It is 1-0. The U.S. leads Canada after 1 period of play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. We have played 1 entire period at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton, Canada and the United States. There's your score. There is a gentleman who NHL fans are familiar with, Coach Calgary Flames, but he has spent 31 years as a hockey coach. And Bob Johnson is making his last hurrah, perhaps at the pinnacle of hockey for you, certainly coaching in a Canada Cup.
Well, I certainly enjoyed it. I had the opportunity to coach in the '81 Canada Cup and the '84, and it's my 3rd Canada Cup, and it's a great way to go out of coaching. I've enjoyed my 5 years with the Calgary Flames. I enjoyed the organization, and now I'm looking forward to a new challenge in the game of hockey.
Well, tell us a little bit about that new challenge.
Well, I'm in charge of the United States Hockey Association. I call it USA Hockey. Our official title is the Amateur Hockey Association of the United States. It's a governing body of hockey from young kids all the way to the Olympic program. We have presently 12,000 teams playing, 8,000 referees, 250,000 kids, and we're all excited about our Olympic team, and we're all excited about coming to Calgary in February. So when this is over, I'll be joining the Olympic team and kind of oversee their program and follow their progress. And we plan to ride the backs of that Olympic team and put on clinics in all the major cities of the United States and bring the American people right up to the great game of hockey. We're going to expose this great game, and we're going to do it with our Olympic hockey team because we think the entire country will be watching in Calgary, and we know that it's going to be the biggest and the best year of hockey in the United States.
You spent 30 years coaching thousands of kids and players. What would you like them to say when they talk about their ex-coach, Bob Johnson?
Well, they enjoyed coming to the rink. They enjoyed the game. I certainly enjoyed coming every day, and I was very fortunate to have a job that I get enthused about every day. I mean, 7 days a week. A lot of people out there in the society, they don't enjoy their jobs. At 5 o'clock, they want to run away from their jobs. I always wanted to stay. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and my family enjoyed it. And I'm going to miss coaching. I'm going to miss it dearly, but I knew I was going to miss it when I made this decision. But every day I'm going to be in the game of hockey, and I'm just looking forward to a new area of hockey, and I'm looking forward to the development of more kids playing hockey in the United States, and that's one of our objectives, to get more kids playing. And I don't think our objective is really producing national leaguers. Our kids, just let them play for the fun of it. It's a great game. I enjoyed playing, and we want all the kids out there to play for the fun of it. And if they can get to the National League or their Olympic teams, that's just tremendous. That's the bonus of it all. As
a coach all those years, what was your coaching philosophy? What did you feel that you as a coach had to do to build a winning hockey team?
Well, I thought that I think the key to it all is if everybody understands their role in a hockey team. And then besides understanding their role, and accepting that it's a team game. The team is the most important. It's more important than the individual. And usually, right now with this Team USA, we won 2 big games because of a team unity and a team effort. We don't have a lot of stars as stars go in the game of hockey, but we've got a pretty good hockey team.
What do you think about your chances down the road? You've got some big games even after this one with Canada. You've got some tough teams. Well,
in a short tournament like this, you play them one at a time. We were worried about Finland. We were worried about Sweden. We got great respect for the Canadian offensive power they have. And then all of a sudden we got to go back to Hartford and play the Russians Friday night, then on to Sydney to play the Czechs. We want to get in the playoffs. That's number one. Two, it's sudden death hockey where our goaltender can steal a game, and then all of a sudden you're in the finals, and when you get to the finals, anything can happen.
Well, Bob, best of luck to you, and good luck in your career after hockey.
Thank you.
At least after coaching, anyway. Bob Johnson, the head coach of Team USA. We'll be back in just a moment. There's your one-period score. You are watching the Labatt Canada Cup. USA 1, Canada no score. We've played 20 minutes in Hamilton. Rod Langway, as we mentioned, just has a cut. He's been stitched and will be back. However, Kevin Dineen will not return this hockey game for Canada. He was hit in the corner, you may recall, in the first period. It was later in the period. He's number 14, hit by Gary Suter, number 20 of the United States, right here. Now, we can't tell you exactly what happened to him. He either wrenched his knee or his ankle, and the training staff worked on him for about 10 minutes, decided we're going to have to send this man for x-rays. He's gone to the hospital, wheeled out in a wheelchair. Earlier today in Regina, something of a surprise, a shutout when Sweden met Czechoslovakia. 1-0 Swedes on a goal by Jonas Bergqvist when we pick it up in the second period. Look at the moves here by defenseman Anders Eldebrink. Shows some fancy stick work, cuts into the slot, and then blasts away at 15-15, and that makes it Sweden 2, the Czechs no score. Playing in goal for Sweden on this day, 31-year-old Peter Lindmark. He gets the shutout. Sweden's first of the tournament, by the way. Miloslav Horshova from the point, hammers a shot right on. Lindmark not only makes the stop, but holds on to stop play. Now, we go to the third period. Lars Gunnar Peterson has made it 3-0, and watch for number 4 in the gold. That is Tom Eklund. He will come out of the corner as the puck goes back to the point. Number 4 now goes to the net, And watch his stick. He just tips it in. That made it 4-0. That would be the final score. Sweden's record 2-1 with 4 points, tied with the United States for top spot for the round-robin portion of this tournament. 1-0 USA. Brad Park joins us now to analyze that first period. And looked to me anyway that on many occasions, instead of Canada taking it to the Americans, it was the other way around.
It definitely was, and they talk about the difference in the styles, that the U.S. plays more of an NHL style, and the capabilities of Team Canada is to play a very European style. Well, right now, the NHL style is dominating. But what is also changing is the U.S. defensemen, and here's Chris Chelios, are doing what the Canadian defensemen are noted to do. Carry the puck and go to the offense. Here's the shot by Chelios, a good save by Grant Fuhr. Not only is Chelios the guy that's going to be going all the time, but count on Gary Suter. There's nothing wrong with him. He can carry the puck. Here's Chelios through center ice again, laying it over to Gary Suter. Walks in, and he's getting a good shot. So you've got to look in the next period and the third period that the American defensemen are going to be moving. Also, the Americans capitalize here. This is a penalty. There's no doubt about it. Craig Hartsburg ends up with a puck. LaFontaine ends up scoring a goal. Well, watch Hartsburg pick up the puck here and check. Now watch the hook. There it is. It's a beauty by Suter, and he pulls Hartsburg off the puck. Now the other Canadian defense didn't have a stick, and LaFontaine makes no mistake beating Grant Fuhr low to the stick side. And what can we expect in the third period? Well, we saw early in the game Bobby Carpenter pull off Craig Hartsburg's face, but Craig Hartsburg, like all good NHL players, will retaliate. And this is a little later in the period, and Craig Hartsburg is giving it back to Bobby Carpenter. And you can look for that chippiness to continue into the second period.
Well, it is 1-0 here, United States leading Canada. You think that we're not going to see anything much different in the second frame?
If I was the U.S. team, I wouldn't change anything. If I was the Canadian team, I would have to go to the attack a little bit more and move our defensemen up.
Well, we have one other score to tell you about, the CCP. That's the USSR to most of us, in action today in Halifax, and the winner. The Soviets beat Finland 7-4. Their record now 2-1, which ties them with Sweden and the Americans atop the standings. Right now, the score in Hamilton, 1-0. United States leads Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.